We have a serious problem. I have all the details and what you need to be aware of right here in the video, so let's get right into it. Alright, now that Congress is back in session, they only have about 2 weeks to figure out all the details of the next federal budget or come together on all the details of a continuing resolution to keep their government funded at the current rate right now. Otherwise, we may potentially be going into a short-term government shutdown. Now, as I mentioned in previous videos, I do not anticipate going into a government shutdown, but if we do, it's likely only going to be for a couple days until lawmakers can finally come together and agree on something for a longer term funding deal. Now, here's what I can guarantee you. Between now and the end of the month or the end of the fiscal year, which ends at the end of this month, there will be a lot of drama and there's going to be a lot of kicking and screaming between all of these lawmakers as they are already going after each other. So here's what I will do. I will continue watching everything very closely, and as I do get any more details or breakthroughs on the negotiations, of course, I'll bring you those updates right here in these videos. Next, let's quickly talk about another new report that was just released, and honestly, this one is a little bit alarming and honestly just plain old shocking. So this new poll was just released showing 56% of respondents are showing that this inflation is impacting them either severely or moderately. Now here's the sad part about this. Just a couple months ago, this same report was just released and it was showing in the low 40% range. So the fact of the matter is, in just a couple months time, the percentage of people that are struggling either severely or moderately has gone up over 10% over the course of just a couple months time, from the low 40% range to now 56% of respondents are saying that this inflation is impacting them severely or moderately. Honestly, that's just sad. Over 56% of people right now. So that's the situation. Let me share with you another new report that was just released as well. This new report is showing that 1/3 of Americans, 34%, so a little over 1/3 of the population, is digging into their savings right now just to cover the basic necessities. So in other words, they're actually digging in the hole every single month. So maybe they earn, say, $1,000 a month, and they're digging into their savings and spending $1,200 a month. Now, again, I'm just using those numbers as an example to kind of give you a better illustration of what's actually going on right now. But this report is showing that people are digging into their savings right now because their incomes are not simply covering all the necessities right now because prices have gone up so much as a result of that. Now, the report also goes on to show that it shows that the average American and the average household right now only has about 1 to 1.5, possibly 2 months left of savings before their savings is completely depleted. Then what? That's my question now is, then what? What happens in 2 months from now when the vast majority of Americans have all of their savings depleted? What are we going to do? If you don't have any money saved, what are we going to do then, right? Do we all just float balances on credit cards? Are we all going to go severely into debt just to try to cover all the necessities right now, like food and shelter and gas in our car? I don't know. That's a question for Congress, and that's a question for the administration. What are they going to do? I'm curious to see if they're going to answer that question for us. Anyway, scary report out there right now. Now, as I also mentioned just the other day in the separate video talking about the most recent inflation data, it's also showing that food prices are up 13.5% just over the last 12 months alone. Shelter prices are up over 6% just in the last 12 months alone. And gas prices, get this one, up over 44% just in the last 12 months. So for anybody out there right now saying that this inflation is not impactful for the vast majority of Americans is literally sleeping under a rock because they don't have a clue what's going on. If they are not impacted by this inflation, I'm not really sure where they're living or what they're doing, but honestly, this inflation is getting a lot of people right now. Now, let me share with you another report as well. So as a result of this inflation, now obviously, many people here in the community are low income or fixed income beneficiaries, and we've known for a very long time now, a year and a half, since this inflation started going up way back in early 2021, when we started seeing inflation ticking up 3.5%, 4%, 4.5, 4.7, 5, and it continued to tick up a little bit every single month. We started to see all these reports coming out showing the low income and the fixed income were mostly the people that were being impacted by the inflation. Well, yeah, obviously, we all know that, right? Well, here we are about a year and a half later, and inflation is still very, very high. In fact, as of the last report just a couple days ago, it was coming in at 8.3% as a headline number. The core number is still over 6%. Again, very very, very high. And the CPIW, the one that tracks for older adults and fixed income beneficiaries, as represented by the CPIW, which is the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, still coming in at 8.7%. The fact of the matter is, now what these reports are now showing is that higher income individuals, as in six-figure income earners, are now being impacted severely by this inflation. So now it's starting to come out and starting to hit headlines once again, showing that it's not only the low income and fixed income that are being impacted right now, but it's even six-figure income earners that are really being impacted by this. So, I mean, seriously, at what point is something going to give, and what are they going to do about this? Now, I've said this before, and I want to say it again really quickly. They don't care about this inflation. Now, obviously, as of recently, they've been coming out and saying, oh yeah, we're going to do something about this inflation. If they're going to do something, why is it taking so long? I mean, seriously, come on, seriously. If they actually wanted to do something about this inflation, why is it taking them 8 months to get something done? Is it confusing anybody else, or is it just me? Now, again, the only reason they pretend to care about this inflation is because they have to care, because guess what? The midterm elections are coming up. And by the way, this is not a political statement at all. I don't take sides in my videos. I'm simply saying this is the only reason they're pretending to care right now. Other than that, why haven't they been working on this inflation a year and a half ago when it started to tick up 3%, 3.5%, 4, 4.5, 4.7, 5, 5.5, 6, 7, 8, 9? You know what I mean? It keeps going up and up and up, and they haven't done anything about it. So again, why didn't they do something about this a year and a half ago? Again, just saying what's going on right now. Now, I want to point out something else as well that I just read as well. The national debt right now, just imagine. Can you want to take a guess how much it is? It's just under $31 trillion. Just imagine if you got your credit card bill and you opened it up and it said, you have an outstanding balance of $31 trillion. What a joke, right? I mean, seriously. No, but seriously, that is the real thing. The United States is in debt by $31 trillion. Actually, to be fair, it's about $30.8 trillion. But we're going to be at $31 trillion before you know it. That's a ton of money. Are we ever going to pay that back? No. If we ever think that we're going to pay that back, there's not a chance. There's no way this country will ever pay back $31 trillion of debt. Not happening. There's just no possible way. It would take centuries to pay that back, realistically. There's just no way that it can possibly be done. But anyway, that is where we are currently sitting right now, and the national debt is rising very, very rapidly. So, kind of interesting. I'm honestly not sure what the website is. I've been on it previously, but there is a website out there that kind of shows you like a real-time ticker of the national debt kind of going up. It's crazy to watch the thing. Like, you know, when you're at the gas pump and you're filling up your tank and you look at the rightmost number, it's like, I don't know, hundredths of a penny or something like that. And the thing is just whipping on by the numbers, going around and around, you know, those numbers, just like on a gas pump. The same thing is going with the national debt, but it's moving in hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. And it's ticking up that fast every single second. So anyway, I'm not really sure what that website is. I know I've been on it before, but again, some of you have probably been on that at some point, and again, very interesting to see that whole thing. But honestly, it's kind of sad because those are our dollars, our taxpayer dollars that are just being blown into the wind. Anyway, just want to throw that out there really quickly. Next, I want to throw something else out there as well, because one country out there in the world right now, along with a lot of other countries, but one country out there in particular is sending out wads of cash to their low-income residents, and honestly, they're doing the right thing right now. Japan, they are focusing on a $900 billion yen package. And guess what? They're sending out 50,000 yen to their low-income residents. Now, before you get too jacked up and too excited about that, let me tell you the details, because yen and the exchange rate between the Japanese yen and the United States dollar is, not quite as what you might think it is. So this actually translates into just under $400 per resident who are low income in the country of Japan. So even though 50,000 sounds like, wow, 50,000 yen? That's awesome, right? Don't get me wrong, it'd be super cool, but it's only about $400 in American dollars, so it sounds super cool, right? But at the end of the day, the point I'm trying to make with this is that Japan understands, unlike the United States, who apparently is clueless with what's going on right now, Japan actually recognizes that the low-income residents of the country of Japan are actually struggling right now. So they're working on a dedicated $900 billion yen package to send out 50,000 yen per resident in their country. Again, low-income people. Not bad. I like it. Seriously, Japan, I don't really know much about that country, but what they're doing there, I like it because realistically, it's the same thing that they need to do here in this country is help out the low income. I mean, seriously, somebody wake up right now. What is going on in this country is seriously so divided and so unfair for the low income and the fixed income. Honestly, I just want to smash my head against the camera because it just freaks me out so much that the people in this country need to wake up. So anyway, I'm not going to do that because honestly, then I get a big, forehead print on the camera, and honestly, it just wouldn't be very funny, but honestly, it's kind of funny to think about it at the same time, right? So anyway, the fact of the matter is, these are some of the reports that I came across recently. I wanted to share them with you in this video right now. There's a lot of stuff that's going on right now, and realistically, between now and the midterm elections, just a matter of about, 6 weeks away or so from this recording, it's going to get crazy. Seriously, we've been seeing a lot of updates and a lot of big announcements coming out between now and the midterm elections. I can't even imagine all the smoke that's going to be blown out of the mouths of all these lawmakers coming out making all of these empty promises, or hopefully they'll make some promises they can actually come forward with. But either way, I'm going to continue watching all these people very closely because sometimes these lawmakers don't think before they talk and they paint themselves into a very tight corner, and then ultimately they need to deliver. So I'm excited to see what kind of promises they make us over the next couple of weeks here and what kind of updates we get out of all these lawmakers, the administration, the president, all of these people out there right now, because they're all going to say something. Because here's the thing, they all do it every single time with midterm elections. And again, I am not taking political sides here. I never do. They all do it. They're all guilty. And therefore, we need to hold them to it, and they need to do something for the people. But realistically, I want to share with you these reports that are coming out right now to show you the magnitude of what is really going on between low-income Americans, between Americans as a whole. 56% of people being impacted severely or moderately as a result of this inflation, and a variety of other things going on that I shared with you in this video right now. Seriously, it's a plain old dumpster fire. So grab your marshmallows, gather around, and let's smoke up our marshmallows with some toxic smoke coming out of this dumpster fire. I don't know. Sounds pretty good. What do you say, right? I'm just kidding. Don't. You probably don't want to put your marshmallow in the black smoke. It's probably not a good thing, right? You probably don't want to eat that one, right? Anyway, just trying to make a little bit of fun out of this, even though it is a serious situation. Hopefully I can make you laugh a little bit out of this, making a whole total fool of myself. But you know what? Honestly, I don't really care because I'm here for you and I'm bringing you all the information that the local news does not bring you. Because when was the last time you heard your local news reporter talk about this kind of stuff? Probably never, because they don't talk about this stuff. I find all this information as I do all the deep diving research that I do every single day to find all the best information that I can deliver to you in these videos to let you know what is really going on right now and all the things that they probably don't want us to know about. But this is what's actually happening. Either way, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. Please make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss any videos going forward. I'll continue doing all the research, watching the headlines as they hit the wire every single day, breaking it all down into these short videos, and I'll continue to be here for you right by your side as your one and only daily advocate, as that's my dedication and my commitment to you and the community. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, have a good one, and go back and check out some of the other videos here on the channel. I can promise you this much, there's a lot of cool stuff going on right now, and this month alone, we are dedicating $12,000 to give away to those of you here in the community. We're doing cash drops, we're sending out big packages, we're sending out hundreds of packages. So far this month, we'll probably send out, I don't know, maybe 500, 600, 700 packages alone this month as well. So a lot of cool stuff going on, and I want to help out as many of you in this community as I possibly can. And honestly, I want to reach all of you in this community. It's going to take me a little while, but again, I want to do it. Anyway, enjoy, have a good one, and until next time, I'll catch you again later. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you again soon.